If I had to describe all the changes coming to Season 2 in one word, smooth. Keats and Keeman are back with another dev stream, giving us a tour of Low-Key Island and going over the massive list of changes coming to Season 2. I joked in my last video about Keats saying that there were 12 pages of patch notes. That might not have been an exaggeration. There's a lot of info in this dev stream, but I'm going to go over what I feel were the most notable changes. But if you want every detail and to hear it from the devs, I'll link that down below. First off, the island. From the trailer and the IGN video, it seemed like Low-Key was bigger than what I originally thought, but seeing it in this stream, it's even closer to Capital City's size than I ever expected. Notable areas include the car park by the bridge, Mr. Sweetie's ice cream, we now know it's named, the resort, the ruins and sea caves, and the old docks. Not to mention the star of the show, Lava Dome, which is even bigger than what it looked in the last two teaser videos we saw. And Keats confirmed one of the things I said about the lava.
You see the lava is hardened and not dangerous to you. Maybe someday it will be. Who can say?
Maybe becoming active again. Interesting extras include a grease pool and a frying pan from that billboard, and a couple of Kraken doors that we're apparently going to have to wait to get behind. Other areas include that giant horn we saw in the IGN video that gives you a 60-second damage buff and lets everyone know where you are, and this hot spring that provides extra stamina regen and gives you a 30-second stamina buff once you leave it. You also quickly notice that the battle barge is now on the north side of the islands. As far as moves are concerned, the Rush and Edge families are the only new moves for now. Rush is that new power priority move that can see you bashing through groups of people. Interestingly, apparently it doesn't stop until you hit either another player or a wall. The Edge family is, as we've seen it in the other videos, picking up the opponent over your head. Interestingly, if you activate it in the air, it immediately throws your opponent down into that bounce animation. As far as other move adjustments, air dodge has seen another hefty rework. Along with a handful of other animations being more exaggerated, recovery from air dodge has been made more obvious. And they've also added a small amount of invulnerability to the move. And as a kind of compromise from the Halo jump move before, you can now cancel into a Striker Vicious move on the way up from an air dodge. You're still unable to do it on the way down. Tying into this, low altitude air vicious recovery has been extended on Mist by a little bit, and air block recovery has been shortened. And another nerf that'll have crowds of people cheering, Vicious Mist now has a slower startup, longer recovery on Mist, and more damage scaling. The shot family of moves has seen itself expanded, kind of like they did with the Zuna drop. Both the basic and Rex shot now bounce off of the kick, and they can be comboed off of this, so the damage has been lowered slightly. Chokeslam had a bug preventing the correct stamina damage or stamina break to be applied, and that's been fixed. Dodge roll has been made shorter, and combined with other adjustments that have been made, cancels will feel snappier and open up opportunities for different baiting scenarios. Some more general move adjustments, tracking improvements leading to moves and attacks feeling smoother overall, and ledges should no longer interrupt moves. You can no longer area of effect through walls, as they show with the Cyclone attack here. Lower tier moves now use less stamina and higher tier use more. This may make sense, but it was just the opposite. You can no longer elbow drop or dolphin dive off of a basic 3-hit combo. You have to use the back toss combo and take that damage trade-off if you want to connect into those other moves. And speaking of dolphin dive and combos, the third wall splat or wall bounce in any combo will now end the combo. The only exception to this are Irish Whip and Punchline, which end the combo after 2 wall splats. A slightly more subtle change, Super Kick now tracks into the air, which makes sense with the trajectory that that move has. Weapons. New weapons that we hadn't officially seen yet include the Oil Drum, which is the higher tier of that construction barrel, also does a lot of stamina damage. The Potted Plant throwable and the Bucket throwable. The buckets always drop an item when they break, and all these throwable items can also be thrown with the regular attack button. We saw the Chonkless again and just how disrespectful they can be, as well as more of the Starfish and just how much mobility it brings to the table, like using the Vicious into wall grab as they show here. The Plank family caught a big nerf as the Gut Check stun no longer lasts long enough to be followed up with a Charge Chop, an Irish Whip, or a Super Attack. All elbow and other drop attack damage and other fall related damage has been adjusted and lowered across the board. You're unlikely to see those huge elbow drops out of nowhere, hopefully. Items, we saw Macho's Nachos again and confirmed that they have 6 hits of 100 HP each. They are very quick and they are great for sharing. The big change to current items hits the Arms Pods. Damage bonus gained from Arms Pods no longer counts towards earning perks. Perk values have been lowered across the board to adjust for this, and things like temper damage and super damage do still add to your perk totals. Super attack now only gets a 50% boost from arms pods. A 10 pod super now only does 1073 damage. Perks. We're getting one new perk that apparently some of you guessed the name of, Insatiable. This perk causes you to always be hungry, granting you 50% more healing from healing items. The whole perk system actually got an overhaul, and perks are now separated into buckets: healing and non-healing. Every time you don't get a healing perk, it's now more likely that your next perk will be a healing perk, and you're guaranteed a healing perk every 4th perk. Say perk again. Speaking of healing perks, Lariat God, aka Nerf Meditate, finally got his wish. The meditative perk now only heals up to 50% of your health bar. Along with circle variations and other changes, it's expected that the length and pacing of matches is definitely going to change. Quality of life changes. The whole theme of this Season 2 patch seems to be quality of life. It really looks like the whole game is going to be a smoother, more enjoyable experience. Some specifics include various ping system improvements, drop while climbing less, Launchmaster and mic status have been added to the sidebar, more daily and weekly challenges for battle pass leveling, and a shift away from match bonuses. And while we don't have the 3 to 4 player limited time modes yet, you can invite up to 3 other players into Playground with you. According to the devs, the stream include about 2/3 of the updates we're getting in the new season. The rest will be dropped in the patch notes when Season 2 launches. If you're interested in exactly how certain moves are working, the deeper reasons for certain changes, or just game dev in general, I definitely suggest checking out that dev stream, as Adam really, deep dives into all the work they've been doing to smooth out the game. I feel like this was another great dev stream that, not only somehow got me more excited for Season 2 than I already was, but just, again, excited for the future of the game in general. But what's your favorite change or improvement coming to Season 2? Not long to wait now. I'll see you at Ice Cream soon.
This thing is terrifying.